Hello traders, today we're gonna talk about large orders and its lines and what they represent. And basically you can think of large orders as institutional levels or institutional orders. It's when there's large order that happens on specific price level. So, and if we're going to look at our indicator, it's displayed. So let me minimize this a little bit. So large order, let's open the selection. So we actually have four areas about large orders, and let me walk you through them. So we have extreme large order, and we can place 200 here. We also have large orders, just a general large order parameter. We have a minor order parameter, and we have unconditional order parameter. So they all represent something that is related to large orders. So the extreme order represents as extreme large order. Just somebody is just basically more than a large order. And for us to know this would be with the star sign, and you see it's 210 and our threshold is 200, so that's why it showed there. Now for large orders, they represent, for large buy orders, they represent with dark orange line, right? And large sell order represent with magenta color, which this was the color, okay? And large buy order, this orange line. Now we can set a threshold that we don't want to show any large orders below 60. But also we use, and I prefer this method, to have a dynamic threshold. So we take last 34 bars, and we're basically finding out the large orders dynamically, algorithmically. So it's looking back at past 34 bars and looking for the dynamic threshold. It has its internal calculations, and minimum floor is 50. So we won't see any large orders below 50. And the if you look at the screenshots, if you look at the chart on the entry chart, you will notice that large order lines, they show despite the overall trend. And we use trend magic indicator to find out our overall trend. So whenever it turns green, it's generally considered bullish and you want to look only for buy side, or it's a reddish line, then you want to look for sell side. So with trend magic filter enabled, we only show these large orders. They will show regardless of trend magic direction. That's why you see the large order for sell shows while we're in the green zone. So that it shows that. And so we also have remaining to cover minor order and unconditional order. So let's look at some examples. Um, let's see, why is there not? There should be. Let me try to refresh it. Oh yeah, we had to change our stacked imbalance. Let me just. No, it's weird. Why? I think I may need to restart the chart. But let's look uh, at this chart because that's where it shows. We could see. So the minor orders are. It lets you, let's say, let's say you want to see, hey, I'm not interested not only in large orders, but what if there's going to be a little less than a large order? So we could come back here to minor orders and we would place, let's say, 30 here. And we would define minor order size as 15. And I believe we should get more uh, circles that way. See, all this represents minor orders, and the last part that I want to show you is that unconditional order, which is unconditional order. They also represent with these colors, and um, what they show us is that unconditionals will only show when it's about having a bar, um, like see right here, we have bearish bar, but we have um, a large buy order. So that's what it means by unconditional. So it will display that order unconditionally. Like if you don't want to see that, you could just deselect that from unconditional and it won't show. But I find it convenient to notice that, hey, we had buy orders here, but then price started to come back down. And when I see this bar, I already thinking, hey, it's probably going to reverse or end of retracement. So this shows you, hey, around this level on this bar, even though it was bearish bar, we had a large activity for on buy side. So I keep that selected. So this is the essence of large order um, part of in our setups. So hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, let's go to the next